Yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about censorship. And that's the problem in this country. We don't censor people. We don't censor things. We attack the creators, or rather they do, the system. That's what they do. They actually attack the people that create the stuff. And that's what they do. They attack the creators. The problem with this is, of course, is that you're basically just doing it because you're not really willing to tell the truth of how you actually feel. That's why politicians are behind it, because it's a popularity exercise. Nobody probably can say they're not liberally minded and wide-minded and open-minded, and they're not any of these things at all. And it's about attacking, the people they don't like, the people creating these things, which is me, but also other people as well. And that's what you're talking about, really. And they attack you in all ways. They'll stop every opportunity that you've gotten. And they can do this very easy because, basically speaking, Britain is full of people with a victim mentality who have victimised themselves because they feel we can't do this because the British Empire collapsed. I don't say, yeah, it was a big empire, it collapsed. But it didn't collapse completely. We should be bloody certain we've still got Britain, okay? We've still have Britain and half of Ireland. And to be perfectly bloody honest, most empires, when they collapse bloody completely. So we've got what we started with. Yeah? We've got a bloody big population for the size of the island we've gotten. And you know what? We're managing pretty well. But it doesn't enter into it because they can't do it, because they convinced themselves they can't achieve anything, so everyone else has to not do it as well. So they stop everybody else. And they know that, so it's very easy to get these people to sabotage someone. They just have to mention the name, the slightest nudge, and they'll go for the rest of their lives, which is what you've got. You've got people basically trying to combat and work against people for achieving stuff. People who could be high achievers or are high achievers, or that want to do things, make a difference to the world. And that's partly what you've gotten. This whole thing of we've got to stop everybody, one of which is me. I'm one of the people who want to stop. And honestly, it does help me when you buy my books. And I know they're not all here, they're on Lulu now. And there's one that stopped coming out, so it's only there as Lulu on a paperback. So you go to my website, www.srob.co.uk. You can click the Lulu store and you can buy paperbacks. You can go to Amazon and buy ones there, and some of the paperbacks, most of the paperbacks are on there, and also the ebooks. It does actually help, okay? It does help me a lot. But the point is, that's the state of play we've gotten to now. Because the problem is, you see, with attacking creators, is a lot of us are young people. I know I don't look like 44, and 44 doesn't look very old, but the reality is the constant grind and attacks that I had in terms of curses, but also physical attacks that happened in my home was so well planned that obviously had to be military based. It was wearing me down. I feel better now because I'm taking vitamin D tablets, which means, yes, I know they don't have vitamin D tablets, and I also know they'll try to steal them and switch them for something, but you know what? Fuck it, I've got it. I'll just have to keep buying more. That's the reality. That's how it works. And it does seem to help me now. I feel, rejuvenated. It has helped. But the bottom line is, you see, they do it now because there's nothing you can do. If you're 44 and your country is attacking you, it's not different. It's a lot different than if you're 30 or 36 even, or 24, because you're at that age, you're young, okay? You're young, you can go and you can rebuild your life. At 44, you can't. So they'll make your life a bloody misery knowing that you lose everything. 44, you know what that means? If they mess with you, which they will, if you do that, if they mess with you and they attack you, it means 50 will be just around the corner and you'll have absolutely fuck all. And the reason is, they want it to be known that you don't come out whole out of this country. When this country attacks you, you don't get to come out whole. Whole is not something you get to come out, okay? It'll probably do something to you medically to cause you problems. They'll do this, and of course they'll make sure you don't have a penny bloody piece to your name. They will make sure you lose everything. I should explain, you see, if you have to, and this is the reason many migrants become migrants and come to this country within Britain, and other ones for that reason, because they're being persecuted for their literary works or things like that. It is a reason, okay? They do persecution like that is a reason, but they won't take them from this country because we're one of the countries they come to. But in reality, this country is probably worse for it than the ones they went from. The only difference is they do it in a more subtle manner, so they're not as easily caught at doing it. But the thing is, like I said, is that if you do this and you're young, You can lose everything and rebuild. At my age, you wouldn't be able to rebuild, you know. And that's what they'll do. They'll take everything from you. First of all, when you do that, you lose your assets normally. So you may better just turn up, but you lose all your assets. You'll set your companies down. They'll take any shares, any royalties off you. They'll cut you off. They'll steal your stuff. They'll hack you so you can't contact people, so you lose your family and any friends. They'll take every bloody thing you've got from you. So that's the thing, you see. And not everybody that creates stuff is young. A lot of us in Britain are older, or even old. And the reason is there's that much bullshit to stop people from doing things. This country is normally rigged in favour of people from certain backgrounds and also people who are non-white. Because, you see, if you're white and you're not already born rich, then as far as they're concerned, well, you've had ample opportunity. No, we never had any opportunity because you never gave anybody any. And what you get basically is a system of they've got to be there because otherwise there's no contrast with the aristocracy. It doesn't show them. So we have to always be repaired badly, shown badly for that reason, which is why really in Britain moving countries is a good idea. The problem is they make it so bloody difficult for people. They don't want you to leave because they want you to bloody well stay so that you can suffer and be tortured in some way or another. Because don't think that my experience with torture are unique. They are not. They are not anything but unique, but the newspapers won't report these things because basically speaking they just won't. There'll be a media blackout on it. There's not a damn bloody thing will they do. Ironically speaking, there's safe houses for women, none for men. There's migrant authorities, there's none for people to help people in this country who are being tortured. Not a bloody thing, because this country is a nasty piece of bloody work. And let's be honest, okay, this isn't just the EU, this is us, okay? This is more likely to be the bloody royal family than the EU. And that could be part of the reason why the EU doesn't want us to leave. It could well be they're looking and thinking, these people running this country, or even the royal family, are so evil, so nasty at their own people, we can't let them out. And the reason we can't is because until we leave, we're all Europeans. And that means if they believe that, they have to protect the Europeans from getting hurt by these psychopaths that are running their country. You see? All members of the EU until we leave. Yeah. I know a lot of people are for leaving. You know, at the time, it didn't seem very important because my money was coming in from royalties from the US. Most of it was US money. I thought, well, you know, didn't even bother to vote on it. But that's what you're actually talking about. That's what you were talking about here, really. Is this, and this whole thing, don't think that Britain is looking after Britain's interest. Because basically, a lot of the time, like I said, you've got this victim mentality. And in some way or other, this country has to be crap because it no longer has this big empire. Bullshit. What they mean is they can't get off their arses and do anything. They don't want to win, so everyone else has to lose with them. No, we don't have to lose. We can win. Nothing wrong with bloody winning. And that means that what you get is they'll write it up with, oh no, this goes, and we want this person to be the best at this, and he has the best at this, and he's American, he has the best at this. No, what they mean is that the cowards, and they can't take a British person being any good at anything, and they're British, and they project all their crap onto you, and that is exactly what you were talking about. That is exactly the point. And so you get, remember, most of these big associations are global. And the ones that are supposed to be in charge aren't. So you have people basically taking orders from associations from other countries to stop their own people. And that is what you were talking about. Stop your own people from being any damn good, and that's it. And you'll also find as well that a lot of the banks will loan money to people without any collateral or work history at all if they come from somewhere else. Which means that's another advantage they've got. And all sorts of slanderous things that stay against people in this country. You know, oh, you can't do this and this and that. So if you leave and you flee to another country, what you'll find is that there'll be a load of things waiting for you. They'll say, oh no, he's lazy and he's smelly and he's this and that. Because you're not talking mental giants, okay? What you're just talking is the lowest common denominator. They're good at memorizing stuff, not good at the thinking thing. So what you'll get is simple things, smelly, see? Like Indian caste system, low caste, dirty, unclean. We're not Indian, okay? Next thing you'll get, they got one, he's lazy and he's this and that and he does that. A lot of the time you're talking to people who may actually be rich, who maybe have a private income like I have from my books. But it doesn't matter because basically speaking, all they're going to do is blind them with this shit. So they've got an excuse to keep you at the lowest rung, put you at the lowest rung. See? They know if you go into a country at the lowest rung, and it's any country that is unfair, which is every bloody country except, well, this country is unfair as well. The rung you get to is the rung you stay at, which is why the first thing they seem to do with migrants is to get them some decent clothes, because they want them to come out at the top. Well, they give them a better chance. They get a better chance than anybody else. And the reason is from their perspective, well, they were clever enough to get here. Well, actually, all they have to do is a holiday destination. A lot of the time, people are fleeing from places that aren't many miles away. That aren't many, well, quite a few miles, but aren't many hours away, If you were going to Brazil, it's a 19-hour flight. You've got to take 2 flights, it's 19 hours. That's what you're looking at, 19 fucking hours. So anyone from South America, this is a long-distance journey. But most of the other people are fleeing from places that basically holiday destinations, like Jamaica. People go on the bloody holidays to Jamaica. So how the hell can Jamaicans say they have to flee because of a holiday destination? Obviously, well, those criminals want to kill us. That's called being an adult. There will be criminals in your life wherever you go that will want to kill, will threaten to kill you. Every fucking way in the world happens. It happens to men. That's just the way it works. Most of the time, they don't follow through with it. It's just because there's fake gangsters everywhere, and the real gangsters are no bloody better. And they're just a lot of bullshit artists, because most of them aren't doing the scale that they say they do. Because the lower country with a large population, and it's a small country, they're not armed. So how the fuck are they going to control an area of any size? Okay? I mean, look at New York, it's bloody huge. And there's like 7 mafia families control it all. That's not mafia, that's a fucking king by our standards. You can't control an area that size without weaponry, and they don't really have much weaponry. And if they do, they'll put them in jail for carrying a load of cocktail stick or something. So there's no way. Okay, it's not going to work. So I've got that as well. But like I said, that's how things are. That's how it is. So that's the thing. Are the EU helping us by not letting us out? That's right. You see, the politicians who had a vote that didn't mean anything. Yeah, the thing is, though, are they actually helping us out? See, you don't know about torture unless you've been tortured. You don't. And in reality, you see, a lot of places like the torture that doesn't leave marks. You can't. You can cause an incredible amount of pain and not leave any marks. Or better still, you attack the places they can't see. You do. You don't need to attack the places people say. You can attack the places they can't see, which is, of course, what they do. They're trying to do it so that you're buggered up in a way that you cannot in any way, shape or form function. You can't walk around or anything, but you look normal, you see. No, the legless heroes, the army wants to see it for themselves. You see, for the country that the marks around, look at him, a clever version, and he's doing well with no legs. I'm nothing against these guys, but that's how they do it. But the other ones, they attack the bits they think they can do nothing about, you see. The bits that they think can't be repaired and they think will cause a problem. Do we know that is Britain's tactics? Yes, because it's what they did with the IRA. Now, I'm actually against the IRA. I'm not a really, they did kill a lot of people. But I mean, I can understand why they'd be against Britain, because God knows they probably didn't treat them very well, but they were no better. They were worse. And the other things are worse. It was just a load of bloody terrorists fighting it out. So, for I'm sure that's all ended. I don't really care. But we know they did it because they do the same thing on the IRA. So they use it all the time. So next time you see someone struggling along and he looks okay, probably not okay. And if someone has been tortured and you can't see anything logically wrong, then that means it was probably this company that did it, because that's how they do it. Okay, I'll end the video now.